me up, K Marie. Hype me up. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Keisha Spencer, also known as K Marie, the Hype Me Up Queen, coming to you live with the Hype Me Up K Marie podcast. Now, this platform is for entrepreneurs, entertainers, and advocates to come on here and share their journey with the world so that they can help someone else out with their stories, okay? So come on over to Hype Me Up K Marie podcast and let me hype you up. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Hype Me Up K Marie. Y'all, it's been real, and I'm ready to hype you up.
What's up, everybody? This your girl K Marie, live and full effect on the Hype Me Up K Marie podcast. Listen, it's been a lot of technical difficulties going on, but for the next 3 to 5 minutes, please, wherever you're listening in from, go ahead and share this broadcast, tag somebody in it, put followers, highlights, or whatever you got to do to bring the people in, because listen, we put in too much work to get this podcast started tonight. And there's a new location. This is the first time doing an in-person live from myself here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm super excited about that. So I had to get everything right. Y'all, we got refreshments, we got wine. So if you didn't make it this time, that's okay. Lock in with me so you can be here the next time, because we're going to be asking the audience members some questions, and they'll be able to ask us questions. So I do got a couple of people here. Shout out to the people in the audience. Can I get some claps so they can know y'all here? So they in the place. It may not be 100 deep, but they are definitely in the place. So super excited tonight. I got a special guest with me tonight. We're going to get into it. But before we do that, I got to start with Believe the Hype. There's a lot of stuff going on. Y'all know I'm out here in these streets trying to just continue to build Hype Me Up K Marie, the brand. And I got some exciting news I want to share with everybody that listens in, that follows me. So again, if you are listening in right now, in the comment section, go ahead and tell us where you tuned in from. If you're watching us live on YouTube, make sure you let us know. Put a waving hand. Let us know where you're listening in from, what city are you listening in, who you are, who's listening with you, everybody. Just let us know. Send some hearts up, share it, put some comments under the bottom. Listen, y'all can add some stars too, because that's gonna help me out. So you can do that as well. But for those that don't know, I am Keisha K Marie Spencer, the Hype Me Up Queen. I'm a marketing strategist. I am the CEO of Hype Me Up K Marie, which is a media and marketing solutions business. So with that being said, I do everything in the realm of either business management, business startup. I also create marketing strategies for business owners. I am an event coordinator as well as a host. So just a plethora of things in the realm of media and marketing, because that is the type of work that I enjoy doing, and I do it from a place of passion. So anything that doesn't feel like work, of course, I'm going to get into it. And speaking of work, so y'all know I started my own text franchise, Spencer Text Boutique, this year. Now, I had a goal to gain at least 30 clients. I did not do that. I gained 12. But that's still a win to go from 0 to 12. So, yep, clap it up. So I'm excited about that. I'm just grateful for the connections I've made, for the network that I've built, and just people trusting me with their business. And so just to have that knowledge to be able to provide a solution to somebody is just always a great thing to have. Also, out here in these hosting streets, your girl just got an opportunity to host at the ACE Honors Award on May 17th. I am excited about that. I've seen some of my friends, people that I know in the film industry, some content creators that will be awarded. They were nominated. So shout out to all of those that have been nominated for the ACE Honors Award. Make sure y'all follow them on Instagram to just keep tabs on what's going on. But your girl will be one of the media correspondents, so I'm super excited about that. All right, come on. I like it. Also, so y'all know I did my country Wayne skit, so I feel like I'm a real deal celebrity out here in these streets. So okay. So on top of that, I've been on several productions. Company Time is still on YouTube. Make sure y'all go and check that out. There is a web series, basically like a mockumentary of The Office with the all black cast. It was produced by Rod Newman, one of my good friends. Check that out. I got a chance to sit in as production manager. Also, I'm working with this series now called All I Need as the production manager. And I'm also working with Slimeville. Listen, y'all, I'm Slimeville. Okay, let me calm down because I'm the marketing strategist. But guess what? Your girl just got promoted to be one of the producers of Slimeville. So go ahead and add film producer to my resume. Okay, so with that being said, I want y'all to check this song out and let it ring in your ear. It's gonna be real quick, but I want y'all to let me know if it's a bop or not in the comment section.
Slimeville side, the Slimeville side,
We got
the
a
Slimeville
dance
side, the Slimeville side. Slide to the left, now slide to the right. Slide to the left, now slide to the right. Slide to the left, now slide to the right. Slide like a snail, it's the Slimeville side. It's the Slimeville side, the Slimeville side. Slide like a snail, it's the Slimeville side.
All right, y'all. So we got a whole dance to that. It's going to be trending on TikTok real soon. We're right now just getting it on different platforms so that we can continue to share the song. But it is an adult cartoon series. We're currently looking for investors and sponsors that want to be a part of something like this. This is something new. When you think about like South Park, you think about the Boondocks, you think about Rick and Morty, like all of those shows. When you think about that, think about Slimeville because it's about to be really big. So if you know anybody that may be interested in just basically getting into adult cartoon filming, this would be a perfect opportunity. We're looking to partner with people that, I'm just being honest, that already have established a name for themselves in the industry. And so we're looking to bring them on as executive producers in this project. So please make sure you connect with me after the show if you or somebody you know would be a great fit to the Slimeville team. So without further ado, I want to get into who I got with me on tonight. And he's been very, very patient. And he has his significant other here with us. And she was getting us right, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like a team, baby. But I just had to shout her out real quick because, women be making stuff happen out of nowhere. I do have some studio audiences that join me on tonight, so I'm just thankful for that. Just for people to believe in the vision and to come and support me, as well as someone to take time out of their day to come and be a guest on my show. So I'm super excited about this interview tonight with Mr. Selvin Hicks. Step it up for him. So let me tell y'all a little bit about him, and he's going to tell you more on his own. Selvin Hicks is a visionary entrepreneur. That's what it was, visionary entrepreneur. I knew it was something. And an event curator specializing in bringing together top tier business professionals and entertainment creators. As the founder of Manifest the Market and The Chosen Ones, Selvin has built platforms that provide real opportunities for entrepreneurs and artists to connect, grow, and thrive. With a strong background in business development, networking, and entertainment, Selvin has curated experiences that help business owners scale past six figures and give creators a stage to showcase their talent. Selvin Hicks presents serves as an overarching over what is that over? See, he want to put big words and try to embarrass me. Overarching brand that houses these two dynamic platforms, ensuring that every event delivers value, connection, and opportunity. So y'all put your hands together for Mr. Selvin King. All right, so we had a rough start.
Always want to end well, so let's just aim for the end.
All right, then let's do it. So I gave your spiel, but I'm sure there's more to you than what was read.
Oh man, I might have sent that to you a couple weeks ago. You know,
Listen, because a shift will happen in a
well,
minute.
just like that.
So tell us a little bit about yourself or what direction you're going in.
So to date, I'm a business consultant. I operate in the space of acquisitions, lead gen, and advertisement. Everything housed around sales. So I build sales systems for companies. So that's still true. You know,
Okay.
manifest the market, business development, that's all there. But I recently had a spiritual awakening, so to speak. So I decided to put a stop to anything that didn't praise God. So all my secular events, all my entertainment events, even certain business events, I just put a halt to, and we're not doing that no more. So we want to move towards a mindset and a shift of praising God through the work that we do.
Okay.
And so that's what Self Present stands for today.
I'm here for it. I'm
Yes,
here
ma'am.
for it. So what that mean? That mean like you're not going nowhere with the women twerking and shaking their booties.
I'm
and
still
stuff?
going. Let me stop. I'm still human. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? I'm still human. But for a long time, especially in entertainment, I feel like the platform that I established was, so to speak, giving Satan a platform,
Gotcha.
giving the devil a platform. And just through some of the music that was being, played,
Right.
some of the, fornication,
Yeah.
drunkenness, like everything that we were promoting, it was literally giving Satan a platform. And did that for about 8 years.
Okay.
And so
okay.
now I kind of want to shut all of that down and, make a shift.
Right.
So that's all that is.
That's a personal like shift within yourself, like you said, a spiritual awakening.
Yes, ma'am.
And like congrats to you for that, because listen, being obedient and just accepting something in your life,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big thing. That's a big thing, because I think that's like one of the things that I challenge, because when you're a person that's well versed in the world
Mm-hmm.
and also the word of God, you sit there in the middle in that gray spot, and it's like, because you're so heavy in the spirit, it's not even the judgment of others, it's the judgment that you have for yourself. Like, that you consciously like just have to like revisit
Yes, ma'am.
anytime you're doing something. So I can get how what you grew a platform to be, how we kind of switch gears, because the music is ministry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's powerful.
Yes.
It's powerful. And when you got people coming to the platform speaking about spinning and
Go ahead, talk about it.
spinning and
You can be
sex
real
and,
on here.
selling drugs. Like I come from a lot of stuff. I come from Trenton, New Jersey, so we one of the worst cities in the country. And so just having those experiences, certain things become regular to you. I'm not above anything. I've been arrested 19 times, got a bunch of felonies on my record, and nothing stopped me from doing business. But even in understanding what I've done in the past, and I'm not praising it no more. You roll past stuff, not to look down at it, but to pull people out of it.
Right.
And so that's more so what I'm trying to do. So a lot of giving back is my mindset.
Okay, I'm here for it. So tell me how you got started, like just in business and sales, and like so it started somewhere.
It did. So weirdly enough, I went to an African private school from K to ninth grade. I'm not African. I'm American.
That was gonna be my next question.
So in that, my dad owns a life insurance agency, and he pretty much raised me to groomed me to be the person who takes over the company and a field agent. And so a lot of my entrepreneurial mindsets come from watching my dad day in and day out through my entire life. He's retired now, so he did his thing, he did his part. But just watching that every day, it kind of inspires something into me. I never wanted to take over the company. I wanted to be a lawyer, so I went to Morehouse actually. I got kicked out of Morehouse when I caught my first charges, but I went to Morehouse and I wanted to get I wanted to have a career in law and eventually become a politician. And that was my first, like, this is what I want to do. But when you got kicked out of school, now you're in the whirlwind. You've been training all these years to kind of, oh, this is what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do, and now you just like, I don't have nothing else. So what do? You kind of go into business for yourself.
Right.
Because you got this top tier education, and working for other people just don't do it for you. So that's basically what I ran into. So I tried to go into the workforce. I ended up working for a bunch of entrepreneurs because they were the only people who would hire me. If I try to work for major businesses, they're looking at my record and they're like, no, immediately, despite the type of person I am.
Right.
So entrepreneurs actually gave me a chance. And so I started working for them, and for a span of probably 5-6 years, I just bounced around from job to job because I was never satisfied.
Right.
But in that space of time, I actually acquired skill sets in different industries. and I acquired experiences in different industries, and I saw what I liked about their businesses,
Right.
and I saw what I didn't like about their businesses. And so from there, I said, I'm not doing this no more. I'm gonna just try my own thing. I tried my own thing, and honestly, my first business was a podcast.
Really?
In 2017, yeah, that was the first thing that we started. So,
wow. So
yeah.
when you say a business as a podcast, because I need you to elaborate on that, because a lot of people do podcasts for many different reasons.
Mhm.
And so when I help people develop their podcast, I always ask, like, what's your goal with your podcast? Because it's not looked at like a business to some people. It's just something that they do as an outlet, or as for advocacy. But people that normally like to do interviews, like to, get sponsors and promoting things like that, they kind of set theirs up as a business. So, like, when you originally started with that, how was that? Like, how fruitful was that?
It was really fruitful. Honestly, I naturally am a salesperson.
Okay.
So I can sell anything. So I started selling artist performances. I started selling businesses interviews. Then I started selling artist interviews. Then I started selling ad space for commercials on my actual podcast. Because I actually had a station, and they allowed us to input little interview clips and everything. So I started selling that. Then I started doing remote recordings in different spaces, and people. That's actually how I got into promotion. But it was pretty good. We ended up being like the #1 ranked show on the station in about a few months, and just our listenership came organically because it was me reaching out to people one-to-one.
So after the podcast, you went more so into the
nightlife promotion.
Okay. Okay.
That was fun.
That was the turn up time.
That was fun. Yeah.
That was fun.
So it's a space of time that I'm leaving out. I was an artist for about 5 years.
Okay.
In that. And so I actually acquired a lot of connections in the artist world from me being an artist. I actually turned down 4 deals. I wasn't like
you was a rapper or a singer?
I was a rapper. I'm like, come on now. I can't sing.
Okay. Well, don't.
No, absolutely not. I can freestyle just a little bit.
Okay, can you do it?
Nah, no.
I mean, you can do it for the Lord.
Do it for the Lord. I'm a curse. I'm still working progress.
Listen, we human.
Okay, we out here on the podcast. Since day one, I felt like an outcast, but still, it's an opportunity to blast, throw up like rocket ships. I ain't about to take rocket ships, but it's still getting tilted, lifted. Understand, this is tilted, kilted. Give me a shot of Irish rum. I'm just a chum doing this thing in this world because I'm one-on-one. But that's all.
Okay, then. Yeah, he did that. He freestyled on the show just like that. He didn't even cuss.
No, I tried not to. I was really good.
So I am not a freestyler unless I'm doing it with my kids. I have to write my little raps down, my little rhymes, and then they have to have a little beat after every one. So it got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mine's got to. It's got to be a poet on the scene. But so I like that evolution, because I think a lot of men go through that climb, like, and to hear like your background, you know what I'm saying, being arrested, and to see where you're at like right now today. Like, tell me about this journey. Like, what were some of the lows from when you first got started until like you had this shift?
Some of the lows, okay. Yeah. So the lows, I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this. Being #1 in your class all through life, going to a prestigious college and getting kicked out because of a decision that you made, that was like a real shock to me. And then having to come into the workforce, because as a man, you still got to get some money, you know what I'm saying? So that was my first mindset shift, like, okay, I got to start doing something. I had 3 felonies on my first charge, right? So it automatically disqualified me from joining the military. I couldn't go that route. So I had to figure out in the workforce. And so one of the lows is just not being able to be hired. My job that I felt like I was extremely qualified for, and didn't even give me a second chance. I'm sitting around, I'm going to all these interviews, and they're just saying no, 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 no. And at the time I was with a young lady, and she even trying to keep me motivated, going to interviews and group interviews with me and whatnot. And she's getting hired and I'm not, and it's just like, yo, I don't know what to do. Honestly, started selling drugs. Like that was the only thing that made
Right.
sense to me. Always had a sense of sales and
Right.
an understanding of business. So I started doing that.
Listen, drug dealers are like some of the best salespeople.
Look.
Like they advertisements. I'm about to tell my business, but you know what I'm saying? They'll text you or they'll text people. They'll text people, you know, with names and prices and all that type of stuff. We got this new stuff coming now, you know, and they be serious about it.
Marketing, branding, territory, distribution. I'm trying to tell you, you got all of these skill sets that you use in that, but people don't give them credit.
Right.
They really genius.
Let me put this disclaimer. We're not trying to raise the to be no dope dealers, drug dealers, and none of that, y'all. We just call it what it is. Some people started there. And, you know, because like in certain generations, like you sometimes it's I ain't gonna say that's what you had to resort to, but a lot of like I'm gonna say our black men have had to get started there and be smart enough to invest and grow so that they can get out of the game. So I just want to say that part. Now we're not trying to put y'all on game on how to do it and how to market it or none of that. So for the people that's listening,
kingdom business only.
Kingdom business only. You know. So going back to the shift. Now before I get into the shift, I want to get into. So I've been seeing you, you know, speak a lot about AI, and that's the new thing now. Like everybody is on AI. It's like a lifesaver. AI, Chat GPT, like. This is like people don't even want to think no more.
That part.
So tell me about your experience with that and why do you speak about it so much, like as of lately?
I speak about artificial intelligence in a general sense because I feel like the next culture shift is going to be geared towards people who know how to leverage it. So not people who just use it for everything and let it monopolize their business and have no independent thoughts, but people who put their independent thoughts in ChatGPT and let it work for them.
Right.
So people who put those thoughts in Suno, people who put those thoughts in Canva, and they kind of create these things to where you're pushing your honest brand in this business and using these channels to do so. Now, I first got introduced to ChatGPT by some lady. She was writing ebooks and courses and stuff, and she was like, "Look, Selvin, you can write a whole book and just like this." And I was like, "You can write a book?" I was offended that you're not even like really writing it. Like, what are you talking about? But then she started showing me how to really use it, and I'm like, "Oh," so I started figuring stuff out. So I got 5 certifications, and I'm taking another one. Is a Stanford course for ChatGPT.
Okay.
So when I took that course, it was really thank you, man.
Okay, listen.
So with that course, it showed me how to really utilize it, give it personality. You can talk to ChatGPT and say, "Look, I need you to talk to me from the perspective of a cutthroat business consultant," and it'll give you advice on that. You can shift it to say, have a real conversation. Of course, you got to pay for the advanced version. You can't use the bottom because they'll keep cutting you off. But you can have a real conversation with it and tell ChatGPT to ask you questions about yourself, your messaging, and give thorough definitions as to what it is that you're doing. And then it'll create things around that. And it's really you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So putting yourself into that is ways that you can, that's just one way that you can utilize it. You know, so when you're starting to create these platforms and these brands that you want to push, ChatGPT can actually think like that while you can't. And so moving forward, we're talking about emotional intelligence versus intellectual intelligence. You can't outthink a computer. You cannot. Like, no matter how smart you are, you can't outthink it. So the only thing that you can do is put your emotions into it because that's something that it doesn't have. So if you have emotional intelligence and you're using that into business, it'll actually benefit your whole brand entirety. And while you're using ChatGPT's intelligence, so that you don't have to think as hard, but you can put your skill set into in use to where it actually makes sense.
Right. So yeah, I use that a lot. So if I say if I write something and I tell ChatGPT, make it sound more hype, because I wanted to, you know, because you build a relationship with your account. So it's like it began to know you, and it began to know like some of the things that you continuously use it for. Like when I'm writing anything about my podcast or anything like that, it kind of already flows. Or like some of my client stuff that I work on. Because I've already put their information. If you ever do a business plan or something like that through ChatGPT, and you know, once you get it in there, with that name of their business,
Mm-hmm.
anything that you do around that is gonna pick that up because you put that foundation in there. So I do like that. What I don't like is
Mm-hmm. Talk to me.
what I don't like is the fact that people don't think no more, and they just want to. And it's now, don't get me wrong, because we've always talked about how time is just a thief in the night, and so it saves you a lot of time when you need to get something done, but it takes away that just that critical thinking as an individual that you should be, because you, after that email, after that post, after that letter that you send, when you start to have a conversation with somebody, chat GPT is not going to hold your hand through that.
That's why you have to put yourself into the chat. That's why you actually putting yourself into that actual chat box is the most important part of it.
Okay.
You know, that's where you can't fake that.
So I got to get the pro in order to put myself.
I would say, honestly, have a real conversation with it. Like, if my ChatGPT is on this phone, so I can't use it, but I would literally say, hey, what happened after this point in my life? And it'll be able to tell me because it knows you. You understand? My ChatGPT say, yo, what's up, Sal?
That's what my son said. He got a like a artificial intelligent gamer girlfriend. Like, and she be talking to him. Like, they be like literally like, she be having his back on the game, like it's a computer, but they have built like a relationship. That's crazy to me.
So let me ask you this. What is your strongest skill set as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Oh, we gonna switch gears on the y'all say that. Listen.
This is the consultant coming out, and I'm about to do this in real time for you.
So really, it's strategic thinking.
So strategic thinking. What is your biggest money making activity within your business?
Hosting. Guest services.
Hosting, does that require strategic thinking?
To be honest, no.
Okay, right. So this is not really going to work.
The coach hemmed up, y'all. Okay, go ahead.
As an entrepreneur, you have to focus on the things in your business that make you money, and you have to leverage the things that you don't have to do to people who can do it, or to tools that can do that type of stuff for you. Now, as a consultant, I actually have to guide people through their vision, right? ChatGPT can't guide them through their vision. The only thing it can do is provide options. Now, based on my experiences with those options, that's the compass. You get what I'm saying? So that's how we navigate through the. Now, you can't navigate advertising. It's not going to navigate conversion rates. It's not going to navigate. It can help with like email marketing and stuff like that. But you really have to understand what it is that's making you the money. Focus on that. Dive into that 10 times, because if you got 24 hours a day, you work on 8 of those hours, and then you're strategically thinking for 4 of those hours. That's 4 hours that you're not making money.
Because you seen that, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Now you doubling up over here, and you got 4 hours of hosting. Now you got 2 4-hour slots now. I'm about to go over here and over here. I'm about to host this spot and this spot. And now, if I got to think about something, ChatGPT help me out. Now I'm out of there.
Boom, boom. He just got my life together quick.
That's not the life together.
He just got my life together.
But
it makes sense though, because in my mind, I feel like prior to our conversation we just had, that I was giving more back with the strategies and things like that. Like that was more impactful. However, like just revisiting how I get more opportunities for people to say, hey, can you work this event for me? Hey, can you work this event for me? That's a personality trait that I carry. That's a gift that I never looked at it to be the gift to make me money. I've always just felt like that was just me in the natural, just being who God created me to be. But that's been the thing that's, been, getting my name out there, getting more opportunities, even has connected me with the clients that I do have.
See? Look, that's also a money-making activity, lead generation.
Okay.
So the thing that I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with is understanding that you don't have to work for money. That mindset shift is really the hardest thing to get somebody past.
You don't have to work for money.
I'm gonna give you an example. Entertainment. I did an event in Miami. My lady was my host. And we had a DJ out there and all of that, right? Now I run advertisement for vendors, I run advertisement for artists, I run advertisement for attendees. All of those things run without me having to do anything, right? Because as I set up this ad copy in this campaign, I'm running this for the artist, and I'm setting it up in a way to where as they respond, it's automated responses.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Automation.
So I wake up the transactions, and I didn't even have to do anything for it, and that happens in artists, vendors, and attendees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no work outside of the 2 hours that it took me to actually set those things up and possibly creating flyers and stuff.
Right.
You know, but even you can automate that, or you can hire people to do stuff like that. So this is something that you're doing where you're making money and you're not having to put work into it. You know what I'm saying? So adjusting somebody's mind frame and say advertisement can actually bring my customers to me, and I can have a system that carries them from point of contact to point of conversion. I'm sorry for spitting. From point of contact to point of conversion, and you don't have to lift a finger. Automation, that's leveraging artificial intelligence. I don't have to do anything because my CRM, my client relations manager, is already running email campaigns. It's already running text message campaigns to make sure that the people that we already connected with are following through the system. The tags and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So this is artificial intelligence. It's not just ChatGPT.
Right.
People limit it at ChatGPT.
Right.
That's all they're familiar with. But you can write songs. I got a Christian artist right now that's writing whole albums and recording it in different voices. Like it's kind of crazy.
It's funny you should say that because I played around, and since I've been in the film industry, I had this idea in my head. I'm like, okay, let me see if I put this thing in ChatGPT. I got a whole movie script just sitting in my drive. I'm like, oh, shut down, messed up now. You're going to be an added writer to the list next. But I'm already a writer. I do have 3 books, by the way. What I'm learning now, like, if we don't evolve with the time, then we're going to be set back. And so you can be against artificial intelligence if you want to. You can say, hey, that ain't for me. And, you know, I'm old school if you want to.
Ain't somebody who decided to take a
that part.
And that's how that's going to go.
That's how that's going to go. So getting back into like this shift. And understanding like you build a platform for yourself. You connected with many different people. We met at a networking event. I was impressed. Corey is somebody that I look up to. He's like the networking king. And he identified me just coming in one time, just working an event, and he like, you stand out. I need you at more of my events. I need, it's just something about, you being in the front and inviting people in, your spirit, all of that. And I don't have to tell you nothing. Once I tell you one time, you got it. And so I heard what he was saying about you. He was like, he had a trip to go on, and he stopped just to come through here and see us. Tell me, like, how important is like those type of relationships to make that type of impact? Because I'm pretty sure that that's got a little bit into how you're like transitioning like your audience.
Okay. What is it?
Okay, so let me go back to the question. Right. So how important for the way that he addressed you and the respect that he has for you to grace his platform, how important is it for you to have more business relationships like that? Understand that you manage the artists and things like that, but like you dropped a video today about going to a networking event and what the intention was going to that. So how important is it to build those type of relationships?
It's very important. It's an old saying, your network is your network, and a lot of people like to think it's not what you know but who you know, but I really feel like it's who knows you. Like the person at the door, if you wanted to get up in this club, you can know the bouncer. You ain't got no ID. But if he don't know you, you're not going to get in. So you got to understand that people knowing who you are is more important than people knowing what you do. To me, the type of person that I am.
I get it though. I get it because my niche is attraction marketing. That's my thing right there. Like I feel like if I'm attractive to people and they trust me, and there's a connection, a genuine connection when we meet, then and I leave a mark, then they will remember me. You know, even if they see my name or see me at another event, it's just gonna be something that I left behind. And that's one of the things that I teach entrepreneurs as well, like just being appealing. Like everybody's not gonna jump out here and build a corporation. You know, you start as a small business, and in those days, in that time, you have to be attractive. You have to get out here. You have to do old school marketing, be in the place to tell people about it, but not so much as that, but to introduce yourself and, you know, have a smile on your face and be intentional about people knowing you.
You know, this is so crazy. And I'm going to speak to the introverts because I'm an introvert. I am a huge introvert. I do not like talking for a long period of time. My social battery is often negative. So coming to events, it can feel overwhelming sometimes. And talking to people and smiling, it seems like work. It feels like work. But at the end of the day, there are ways, especially different platforms. The event that I went to yesterday, right? They had a QR code on the name badge, and you're able to just kind of walk into the event. And instead of having to have conversations and deep conversations with these people, they're just able to scan your name badge and send you all of the information directly. You don't have to have long conversations. So as an introvert, I just think that a lot of people need to get out of their shell a little bit and just count to 3 and go do something. Just say 1, 2, 3. I'm going to talk to this guy in the red. 1, 2, 3, and just say, "Hey, how you doing, brother?" And that's all. You know. So, Corey, definitely an amazing guy. You know, relationships like that are going to help push you forward in anything that you do. Anybody who's in control of something and has an audience, those are people that are it can be beneficial, but you shouldn't be so transactional. But it's beneficial.
Not an opportunist, but just understanding.
Yeah.
Understanding the assignment when you're in the space to be great.
There you go.
To be great.
There you go.
So I'm gonna take a second. I did have some people to leave because I was gonna open up for some questions to see if anybody had any questions for Mr. Selvin.
Oh man.
I know I got Mr. Donnell. When I tell you I love you, Mr. Donnell, I appreciate you for just being there to support me in a lot of things that I do, and that's amazing. Met at a networking event, and you know he's been like supporting me ever since. So, any questions you got for Mr. Selvin?
I do. With you being based on what I'm hearing, so Chrome AI, right? When they had like the writer's strike, what kind of was your position? Were you more, were you understanding of like the writer's strike and what was going on because of AI, or like what was your position during that time?
I didn't have a position because I'm not in film and TV, and I tend to mind the business that pays. But my opinion on it, as you asked the question, I think that certain jobs are in jeopardy, and there is no way around it. There is no way around it. So either the writers have to start figuring out how to use AI and to work with it, or they have to understand that they're going to be replaced. And the quicker that they get to a decision, the quicker they can make that transition and say, "This is the direction I'm going to move it from here. This is how I'm going to pivot from there." You know, artificial is coming. They have drones that are delivering packages. My brother's a FedEx driver.
Right.
You know, I talked to him. And I'm like, "Your job is probably going to be in jeopardy within the next 5 to 10 years. This is just the reality. It's not anything that, as a consultant, a lot of people have these tools. My job, unless I can provide results, like this is a thing, right? Like my ads convert higher than artificial intelligence on average. Everything that I do advertising wise converts higher than artificial intelligence. So that's a leverage and a selling point in that capacity, right? So that's where you can lean into. It's like, okay, I can work with AI in this way so I can keep working and building this, you know? So writers, I'm not really certain how they can work with artificial intelligence because it seems like it's doing their job. But yeah, I'm curious. What is it that you do?
So kind of like you say, I have comments with mine. For my day job, I actually work for a health insurance company. For a health plan company.
Okay.
Doing health insurance and
okay. And what was your take on the whole AI writer strike?
I'll be honest with you. I kind of saw it on both sides because as one of my comments is inactive. Being able to have that human element to it that comes from writers, I think that is a part that is missing. And I'm not going to say that it makes an actor's heart that much harder because we have to basically figure out what type of emotion I'm supposed to be having at this particular time based on whatever's going on in the scene. Whereas it may have seemed a little bit more easier when it was a writer and they were saying, depressing, or depressed, heavy breathing, or something like that. You know what I mean? As I'm memorizing that, I know that this is how I'm shaping my way into that scene. So that for me, like I said, I kind of see both sides to it. You know what I mean? If it's making like the screenwriting process, I'll say quicker and a little bit more streamlined. Okay, there, but then there's the people.
Right. And then, but even in the essence, like what I've learned is, even though it's not a built-in emotion in the AI or the chat GPT, when you tell it what you want it to convey, it'll reword it to give you exactly what you need. So if it need to say he walked up heavily breathing and frustrated and full of emotions, it'll put that in parentheses, like it kind of, so, but you do have to train it. Just like anything, you kind of gotta you gotta introduce yourself to it and allow it to get to know you. So I feel you. I was hesitant at first using all of the new artificial intelligence, especially when people start doing the AI pictures and trying to use it as their headshots. That irritated the dog crap out of me. Cause like, don't send nobody there for a flyer and it's not you.
You know what?
And he look like a cartoon.
So, are you familiar with Opus?
Yes.
So Opus is something that you could use to leverage time, right?
Okay.
Because you put this video completely into there and they'll give you 12 clips that have viral potential, 13, 14 clips that have viral potential, and you don't have to go through.
I've heard about Opus, but I've never even, because people tell me about different platforms all the time, and I'm kind of like one of those people. It takes me a little minute to get on the other side of the elevation. Like when people start using Canva for creating graphics, I was still using a Google spreadsheet.
Okay.
No, I was being like real, like I had to do a lot. I was working myself a whole lot to crop and do this, and I'm like, I can't get the background now. I can't do this. I can't do that. And so when I found out about Canva, I'm like, this is a game changer. But then I went to something else, and they was like, oh, Canva can do this too. Canva can do that too. Canva got AI now. And I'm like, Lord have mercy. They trying to make me go to school again for this stuff because everybody's not like real tech savvy, and so you got to find your way around those things. But going back to it, because I know what you're going to say.
I'm like, you don't have to be tech savvy.
You don't have to be.
Like, it's not. You don't have to be tech savvy. You don't have to have an understanding of a lot of the technical side of these apps. Instagram is very easily workable.
Right.
Facebook, LinkedIn, all of these websites are just easy to work your way through. It's the same thing on these apps. They make it very user friendly, And so the only thing you got to do is type the information in and have it regurgitate back to you. And I do want to preface to say that ChatGPT and artificial intelligence, while I leverage it for automation, it's a very small portion of what it is that we actually do for people. You know what I'm saying? So like I got a few clients myself, and like one of them, fashion designer. You really can't use AI for a fashion designer.
Exactly.
I got an author. You can't use AI for an author.
Right.
I have medical billing. I actually can use it for her, but it's kind of different in a way where it's more about me using it to information build than it is about me using it to help somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The actual emotional concepts, and what I'm actually putting into it and taking away from it and then putting my own twist on it is what's helping these people.
Gotcha.
And a lot of it, honestly, is, as a consultant, as you probably can say, coaching, like making somebody feel good about their business. Is
and that's one of my, I think, so when you say when you stand out as a coach and what separates you from other people, that's more of my my space, because I am a master life coach. I use that approach when I'm working with my clients, because I need to identify what the blockage is in order to help them. Like, sometimes when you can't identify that, or you're not looking to get to know the person, you're just looking to get to know their business, you really can't help them completely, because you don't understand what their vision is if you don't tap into them. You can read their business plan and their mission and their vision all day long, but until you know that person and what made them want to do that in the first place, why are they so passionate about it, if you don't take the time to get to know that, and even if you got a client that's like tapped out, like, on the verge of like, I'm just, and being able to coach them back up and let them know, provide solutions.
Yeah. Well,
Now,
I have I think that 70% of what you're saying is absolutely right. But then I have a 30% side of me that's just analytical.
Because I caught the look he was giving me. I was waiting on it. I'm waiting on it.
It's simply analytics. And so I say this all the time. You can argue back and forth with anybody about how you feel, but you really can't argue with the numbers.
Right.
And so, especially from the space that I come from, which is sales, I'm going to lean into the analytics. I'm going to lean into the numbers, because you have 15, you said 12 clients?
Yes, on the tax side.
Okay, you got 12 clients on the tax side. You can't go back and forth with me about what you're doing if I'm looking at how many clients you're adding on a month or a week, right? And I'm like, well, this is what's going on. This is the trend based on what it is that you're doing. So something is going to have to shift within that if you want to actually double or triple what it is that you're doing, right? So if I'm looking at I would definitely recommend ads, because that's what I do. So if I'm looking at the ad conversion rate and I'm looking at your email list and it's not growing, and I'm like, okay, well, that is something that's missing in between this report. If they're clicking on the link and they're not doing anything after they click on the link, something is wrong with that. That's an analytical problem. It's not like a business problem. You know what I'm saying? It's not a vision problem.
Gotcha.
So that's where it's like, okay, the number side of it, to me,
that makes sense,
matters a little bit more, because that is where the money's going to come from.
That makes sense, because you know how Google will tell you, give you your analytics and tell you how many people have, went to your profile, and then you look and see like your website visits, and those numbers are not,
adding up.
Sometimes it don't. It's like, wait a minute, or like, as far as somebody scheduling a consultation with you, it's not adding up. Exactly. So like you sending people to something, but what do you think could be like the reason why when somebody goes, like, you meet somebody and they just say, for the sake of it, they just go to your website because you have a QR code on your business card, but they never like connect. What do you say, like, in your experience with people, what has been like the biggest reason why people have not connected with them?
They didn't see a reason to. People buy and do things that they want to do.
Right.
If they're clicking on the link and they're going and you're seeing your website links and they're clicking on it, it's like, okay, why are they not converting? They're not seeing what they want to see. So a lot of times we send people to a website, right? A website is more like your brochure of who you are as a person and what you're offering people. But there's another thing called a landing page. People are selling that as funnels these days, right? Now that more so speaks to a specific product, and that's why those are kind of beneficial in that regard. So it's like, okay, this is a funnel, and basically it's just like point of contact, point of sale out on the bottom. That's basically what they're pushing, right? So if you actually push more of it, what it is that you do instead of who it is that you are, you will get better results. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all heard that on your website? That was free game right there. If you push more towards what it is that you do rather than who you are, they don't need to see a million pictures of you and just out here like living your best life on your website. They need to see the results. They need to see people you've worked with. They need to see, those analytics, like things that's going to make them convert into clients. So that was a nugget for me.
If I told you I can make you $1 million in 2 years, would it matter who I was?
Nope.
If you went to my website and saw that there was people who agreed, like, yeah, this guy can do it, this guy can do it, and I'm giving you offers all up and down that site, does it matter who I am?
Your reviews matter.
The reviews matter. The reviews matter because it's going to help somebody convert. But everything needs to be built for conversion.
Yeah.
You know, that's the game. That's the sauce. Like, you know.
So I like that. So with the shift that let me get back to sales, business consulting. With you shifting to more like kingdom work,
Okay.
how is that going to affect what you've been doing in the past?
So, okay, it has a big impact on everything that I've done in the past, but I'm looking more towards the future. So in this regard, I want to work with kingdom businesses. I want to work with faith-based businesses. I want to work with people who have a similar moral compass and integrity that I do based on my religious beliefs. And I know that it's kind of taboo. And I know that a lot of people will be like, well, it doesn't matter, money's green and all of that stuff. But I'm telling you, I feel like a lot of what goes on in my personal business is favor and it's blessings based on how I carry myself. And if I notice you got the same favor over your business because you have a similar belief system, I can't really take, I was at church today and it was talking about fruits, right? Like the fruits that are
the fruit of the spirit.
Exactly. Well, no, the fruit of your labor. So it's like if it's bearing and it's connected to the vine, then it understands why it's going to continue. But you're just out here and you're just, what do you say, duct taping the fruit to the vine, and it's like, look what I got. You know, it's really not the same thing. So that's why I really want to focus on working with kingdom businesses, and I want to work with people who have similar belief systems to me. Whether that is like kingdom business. Honestly, I'm a Christian man. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. So if you believe in God, you believe in Jesus, yeah, I want to work with you. I want to do events where I'm featuring Christian artists and faith-based artists because that's where my passion is. That's where the alignment is. And all of the events, all of the festivals that we've done in the past, I feel like I can do that and do it in God's kingdom and bring people to Him. My mission in life that changed and took me out of nightlife in the first place was me feeling like I can help people become more successful by being their true and authentic self. That's my whole life mission. Like if you tie that into religion, if you tie that into God, if you tie that into Jesus, and it's like I want to help everybody be more successful, so we can be our by being our true authentic self. The things that we'll be able to do together, nothing can really stop us. Nothing can really stop us at that point. You know, me and my lady, we have big dreams. I don't even know if we should speak on it, but if you can make a noise,
it's in the atmosphere.
So it's like we want to own shopping centers. We want to own malls. You know, we want to own big stuff, but that's not one person, two person goals. You know what I'm saying? That's like 10, 15 apartment complexes. Like big monumental things in this world has to be done with groups and never singular. So making sure that you're always surrounded by the type of people that can always help you in your mission.
I'm glad you said that because people get out here and they think that they can do it all by themselves.
Yeah.
And then you fall on your face after year one because it's not lining up. And I'm one of those people. That's the reason why I'm saying it because when I got out here as an entrepreneur, I was trying to do a million different things by myself. And because I didn't have the financial resources, I was self-teaching on a lot of things until I was able to get around people where I can absorb that knowledge and that wisdom, you know, and they could feed me, you know, what I didn't have in me. But there was a hunger that I had in order to get in those spaces where I can obtain that knowledge and that wealth mindset, because being around like-minded people is very important to your growth. And I thank you for just being transparent with me on today. It's almost 9:00, and so we're gonna get ready to shut down at 9. But before we get off, if it's anything that you can leave anybody with that's listening in on today, like what would it be?
Stay true to yourself. Align your vision and your purpose with your work ethic, and make sure that everything remains in synchronicity. Because the moment that you get out of alignment is the moment you're going to reach something that you're not supposed to reach. You're going to face something that you're not supposed to face. And you're going to look at it like it's somebody else's fault, but it's really yours. You know, staying in alignment with yourself, with your goals, and staying close to home, staying close to God, that's what you really need to grow your business. And if you don't want to grow your business in God, that's okay. You want to grow your business off statistics and all of that, you can do that. You can do that. But if you do, come find me.
Right.
My name is Selvin Hicks. I'm a business consultant. I operate lead generation, targeted advertisement, and sales systems. If that's what you need, if you have a money problem, I'm your solution. So,
Okay. So I did see that you were posting something. The master class is the master class, or are you like postponing that date?
the
So I
master
seen a
class.
master class that you had.
Oh, so yeah, I'm actually doing a webinar.
Okay.
So I'm doing a webinar. So I've shifted into from doing master classes to doing webinars.
Okay.
And webinars just allow more people to attend.
Right.
So I'm going to start doing those weekly. I actually shut a lot of stuff down. I'm kicking it back up right now. Okay. So next Wednesday, the 14th, I'll be doing my first webinar. These are free classes. These are all free classes. We'll be talking about how to build faith-based businesses off the principles in the Bible. I say God left us the blueprint to wealth in the Bible. He really did. And so I'm not giving you stuff that I think. I'm not giving you stuff that I know. I'm not giving you stuff off ChatGPT. I'm giving you the real from my experience, and then I'm connecting it to God's word. Okay. And that's something that you can always hold on to. You can believe me or not, but you got to believe him.
Listen, you got to hold tight to that word. And like he said, there is wealth in the word. And so you really got to understand it. And if you cannot understand it on your own, you got to get around people that's doing the work for you and that's obeying God and sharing that with you. So again, Mr. Selvin Hicks on all platforms. Make sure y'all go and follow him. Wealth of knowledge. I'm just excited and thankful that he graced us on this evening with his experience and also just introducing us to AI in a different light. I know I was at a restaurant recently and they got the bots as servers. They came around and sung happy birthday and everything.
They singing now.
Listen, it's real and there's no escaping it. So you just got to be ready and you might as well just go ahead on and embrace it. You can't have robot in your head thinking that, they just going to turn around to some super soldiers and want to start killing us or whatnot. But you just got to know enough about them. So you got to educate yourself on these things.
Okay, y'all. So we shut down, but I want to get back on here really quick just to tell y'all to have a good night and thank you so much for tuning in. And also just want to thank Mr. Selvin Hicks for gracing us on tonight. Y'all make sure y'all share this broadcast. If you catch it on the end, make sure you put hashtag replay. And I will see y'all next time. I am out and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday night.